I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving.
Yo, what is up? It's me, it's Key, and we're back. We're in the building with another 7,200 seconds. And again, Coach will be up here momentarily, but what is going on, y'all? What is going on? We are back for episode 40 of the 72 seconds. Almost 10 episodes away from the half milestone of 50. So yeah, we are almost there. Hopefully y'all had a wonderful holiday. Christmas, spend time with your family. Hopefully y'all got some gifts and not some coal in the stocking. But yeah, Christmas on my end was pretty good. But yeah, we're gonna get into it. What's going on, Alexander? What's going on? What's going on with you? All right, so let's get on down here to the nitty gritty and get until Coach comes up. Last night's game between the Indianapolis Colts and the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, if y'all hear some noise in the background, next door is getting some work done. So, yeah, that's what you're hearing. But last night's game between the Colts and the Chargers, it started off as a turnover fest. It was like Oprah out there raining picks. It was raining picks. Hallelujah. It was raining picks. Oprah said, you get an interception, you get an interception, you get an interception. Between Foles and Herbert, they were just throwing interceptions like crazy. But overall, the Chargers did win this game, and they clinched their way into the playoffs. So the Chargers have made it into the playoffs. Go over the game a little bit. The box stars getting Justin Herbert, 24-31, 235 yards. He did not have a touchdown, but he had an interception, and he did get sacked 4 times. Austin Eckler, I feel like whenever the team struggles, who do you give the ball to? You get the ball to your guy, Austin Eckler. 18 carries, 67 yards. He had 2 tubs. We had Keenan Allen, 11 receptions, 104 yards. Mike Williams, Herbert was spreading the ball around. And again, we got my guy here in the background. Gotta let him up. Coach Donte is here. Coach, what's up, man?
What's good? My bad. I'm late. I came out the Rockets podcast. I had to get up out of there for a little bit. I had to come over here. So I'm doing good. What's good?
Not much. College Christmas is good.
Hell yeah. Christmas was nice. Christmas was awesome.
So you ain't getting no coal in your stocking?
Huh?
Nah. Just going over last night's game, the Chargers did get it done 20-3, and they entered their way into the playoffs. The Colts just played horrible football last night. Nick Foles, three interceptions by Nick Foles. He couldn't do nothing. 17-29, 143 yards, 3 picks on the day. Jahani Woods was the leading receiver. Zach Moss was 65 yards. The Colts couldn't do anything. The Colts about to blow everything up, in my opinion. But the Chargers did get it done. They clinched their way into the playoffs. Did you see last night's game? Any thoughts on last night's game?
Last night game. First of all, I hope Ashton Doolin is okay the way he got hit last night. I hope he's fine. By Derwin James. It was good to see Justin Herbert them make the playoffs. That's the one squander about Justin Herbert not being able to make a playoff push. So Austin Eckler, 2 touchdowns, pretty solid. Defense was pretty good. Nick Foles stunk it up really bad last night. And like I said, man, the Colts need to be in rebuild mode as the quarterback situation. I think it's okay. I like the roster, the Colts roster. I just think they need the quarterback situation to straighten up. That's what I think the Colts need. So Other than that, I'm happy about the Chargers. The Chargers did a great job last night. And I'm happy. Coach Staley found a way to get them in the playoffs, and got to give credit to the defense. They came out, they did well. They forced Nick Foles to turn the ball over, and the defense did their job, and the offense were able to capitalize last night.
Most definitely. So the Chargers officially made their way in. Um, Got to go over week. We already at week 16 just passed. We got two more games remaining. That's just crazy how we were just saying, oh, football season starting. Now it's just like, oh my gosh, it's almost over. So going over this last week's games, again, the Jags kicked it off with the Jets, 19-3. The Jags are now the leading in the AFC South. So far, um, they are in the playoffs as of right now. Of course, the Eagles and the Cowboys, that game was good going back and forth on Saturday, but the Cowboys end up getting the job done, 40-34. The Bills and the Bears, 35-13. The Saints get the win over the Browns, 17-10. Seahawks, 24-10 over the Chiefs, 24-10 over the Seahawks. This was a close game with the Vikings and the Giants, but the Vikings pulled it out, 27-24. The Bengals and Patriots, that was kind of close, but the Bengals pulled it off, 22-18. And this game I thought was going to be competitive, but it sure enough wasn't. What's going on, AJ? It sure enough wasn't. It was the Panthers and the Lions. The Lions got ran up and down the field by Carolina and Devontae Foreman, 37-23. The Ravens beat the Falcons 17-9, and the Texans get their second win on the season, killing the Texas hopes and dreams 19-14. What's the question? We got the Commanders losing 20-37, and the Steelers on Franco Harris night was not losing this game to them Raiders. Steelers win 13-10, and he threw a dart right down the middle to George Pickens with the game winner. I'm like, y'all. I mean, it was right down the middle. Then you had the Sunday's game. You had the Dolphins losing to the Packers 26-20. This damn game, is bad when Patrick Star, yes, Patrick Star from SpongeBob, is clowning Russell Wilson. He said, oops, I guess that's not what he was trying to cook, because the Rams destroyed them Broncos 51-14, and then Nathaniel Hackett gets fired after that. But we're gonna talk about that. And then the Buccaneers go into overtime to defeat the Cardinals 19-16. He says, what are your thoughts on Orlando Magic? I'm playing really good as the league. That's a good question. The Orlando Magic is playing pretty well. Bobo is playing great. Maybe he just needed that break to get everything together. He's coming out swinging, shooting, dribbling, lights out. Pincheiro is looking good. Cole Anthony, that whole team is looking good. If they get it together, maybe moving forward, maybe get another piece, we might be talking about the Orlando Magic and like maybe a play-in or even in the playoffs, depending on how they playing. But I like Orlando, how they playing right now. How would you think about that, Dante?
I like them. I like that team. They actually got a direction that they can go in. You can finally say, I think they need a couple of more pieces. I think they do need to stay healthy. Pablo Banchero is, the best player on Orlando already as a rookie. So other than that, they need to just add probably one more piece, but they'll be fine. They should be fine. If Cole Anthony, another person got to be healthy on the team, got to stay healthy. The Wagner brothers doing good. I think I like Orlando. I like Orlando as a squad. I like them.
Yeah, they definitely fight hard. They compete. Definitely another team. Again, we all know they're not going to the playoffs, but again, they can spoil some teams that's trying to get in there. So yeah. Josh Norman. Haven't heard his name in a long ass time. Last time we heard him, he was getting put in the shadow realms by Derrick Henry on that stiff arm. But he's going back to Carolina. Now, Josh Norman hasn't been the same since he left Carolina the first time. And as soon as he left Carolina to go chase the money, he was poop. He became poop. What do you think about him going back to Carolina?
It's just a homecoming visit for him. It's just a homecoming for him. He played. He started off that nothing new, nothing special about Josh Norman going to Carolina. But I know Carolina's playing some good football though. They are playing some good football. They 4-1 since Steve Wills took over. So other than that, I wouldn't be surprised if they decide to keep him as a head coach. So they've been really good. Carolina's been really good. Then they beat the crap out of Detroit this weekend, which I said, hey, that's a trap game. Don't look at that game as an easy game. It's a trap game, and hey, man, it might put a damage. Did a lot of damage to the Lions' playoff hopes.
They ran up and down that field. Devontae Freeman, 21 carries, 165 yards and a touchdown. You had Chuba Hubbard, 12 carries, 125 yards. You even had Sam Darnold score a rushing touchdown and Raheem Blackshear with a rushing touchdown. It was 3 rushing touchdowns and 4 receiving. They ran up and down that field. And oh no, they was in Carolina. They ran up and down that field. On Carolina. But JJ Watt is decided to call it a career after 12 seasons. I think it is. He's been with in the league. He's decided to call it quits. It just sucks that he didn't get a ring out of it. But JJ Watt's gonna call it a day, call it a career. He's no slouch though. He definitely was a good defensive end. So where do you rank JJ Watt all time?
It's tough. Top 15. Top 15 for JJ Watt. JJ Watt was good. JJ Watt was great. 2014, he had a 20 sack season, 20.5 sacks. He had 5 touchdown catches. He had 29 tackles for loss. He's a very good community guy, loves helping out the community. His work ethic is really good. And the years that he played for my Houston Texans, definitely and cherished them and embraced the years that he played for. So about top 15. I believe he's good. He's one of the best offensive linemen. He's one of the best defensive linemen in the game. He can play defensive line and can play defensive tackle as well. So kudos to JJ Watt on a solid career. And I think he's going to be a Hall of Famer.
Oh, definitely. He's definitely going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, especially the charity work that he did with Hurricane Harvey down there in Houston. A lot of money he raised to help those people down there in need. You said top 15. I said top 20 in the top 20 range. So definitely JJ Watt, definitely going to be missed. I know you know him very well since, long as he's been a Texan. So you've seen him. Then he goes to Arizona. Helped out that defense. I still think Arizona's defense is going to be okay without him. They got some good young guys over there on that side of the ball that can get to the quarterback and make plays. But yeah, definitely JJ Watt's calling it a career. 3-time defensive player of the year. Just sucks that he couldn't get a ring out of it, or at least maybe play with his brother. That'll be dope. What's going on? Willie's in the chat. What's going on, Willie? Damien, what's up?
What's going on, Will? What's going on?
Yeah, that'll been cool to see JJ and TJ play at the same team. That'll be interesting. He said you looking like Ja Rule.
Hey, Will, I look like how them Raiders was looking last night, the other night. A lot of Raiders fans were pissed off on that one, boy.
Kenny Pickett to George Pickens. Yeah, let's talk about the elephant in the room right now. Nathaniel Hackett gets the Hackett, gets the ratchet hatchet. Finally, after a 4-11 start on the season, they lose 54-14. I hope he didn't get back on that plane, and they gave him his pink slip right on the field. But Nathaniel Hackett gets fired. Donte, did we not see this coming?
Yeah, we should have saw it coming. We did see it coming. So hope you can see we can see Cliff Kingsbury's coming in a second. Hope he's not too far behind, but we definitely saw this. He definitely saw this coming. You can tell by the first game of the year, when he didn't trust Russell Wilson and he elected to kick the long field goal instead of getting a 4th and 5. You could have got a 4th and 5 because his team did move the ball up the field all day in that game. Then you had the Denver game when you had a 4th and 1. You let the throw the ball instead of kicking a field goal when your defense was great all game long and Matt Ryan couldn't move the football. All of a sudden it goes into overtime. The Colts win the game. And you also have to hire a guy that can help you with the personnel. It can also help you with your clock management. How do you have a guy to help you with clock management as well? He's one of the best coaches in the league, and using timeouts after the first quarter. So he doesn't know how to manage timeouts, but we definitely seen this coming. We definitely seen Nathaniel Hackett up out of there.
And Denver's not going to deny it, but I've said this before. The reason why Denver got Nathaniel Hackett in the first place, because they was anticipating that Aaron Rodgers was going to sign with the Broncos. Nathaniel Hackett was in the Green Bay system. He played with Aaron Rodgers. He knows the style and everything. But once Aaron Rodgers decided to stay in Green Bay, panic mode set in, and they was like, oh no, we're going to need a quarterback, and they go trade for Russell Wilson. So they get Russell Wilson all this money, and Russell shit the bed with it. Not his great season. We just gonna put it out there. We all know Russell Wilson's had a whole horrible year this year. Horrible. One of his worst seasons ever as a quarterback in the NFL so far. He's been here. Seattle seen something. See, Russell wanted to go on his own because with Seattle, he was in the shadows. He had Marshawn Lynch. He had the Legion of Boom. Nobody was giving Russell credit. He had to go somewhere where he can be by himself and shine. It bit him in the butt. So the question is, Donte, now that the Broncos are going to get a new coaching staff, do you think Russ can turn things around?
It depends on the coach they get. It depends on who they get. If they can get Sean Payton or someone like that, I believe they turn it around. I believe they could. Sean Payton is going to get players to come in. He's going to, already know he's going to probably get Vic Fangio to come coach over there. So again, yeah, I think it can turn around. It depends on the coach they get, who they get.
Russell only had maybe 2 bad years the whole time he was in Seattle. Maybe the ones that he didn't make the playoffs, but majority of the time of Russell Wilson's career in Seattle, he went at least to the playoffs. He didn't go last year.
Give me a bad year that Russell Wilson had. Give me one. Give me a bad year.
It was at least maybe 2.
Give me a bad.
Out of the 8 years he was with, I think, Seattle, he's had maybe 2.
Give me a year. Give me a year, Damien. If you can give me a year that Russell Wilson had a bad season, give me a year. You can say this year. This year definitely count. This year counts. If you want to say 2016, he didn't have a good year, you can say that.
Denver released had to give him $5 million in complete control to build. I give it to him. But a coach like Sean Payton, I give him that money. So 2012, he was 26-10, and he had 3,118. That was his rookie year.
That's a rookie year. That's good. That's a good year for a rookie.
2013, he still overthrew over 3,300 yards, 26-9. 2014, almost 3,500 yards, 20-17. 2015, 4,024 yards, 34 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. The year 2016, 42-19, he threw 21-11.
2016 wasn't a bad year.
What year they won the Super Bowl?
And you put 2018, that's false. 2018, he threw 35-7. And you said that's a bad year? Huh?
He was 35-7 in 2018.
2020 wasn't a bad year. He threw 40 touchdowns and only 13 interceptions, but he threw 40 touchdowns.
Seahawks won the Super Bowl in 2014.
Yeah. And they were running the ball. They were running the ball in 2014 with Marshawn Lynch. They were running the ball. That was okay. Yeah, it wasn't a bad year. So this year was a very bad year. This year was a very bad year. This year was a really bad year. Now, if you want to count 2020, you could throw 2020 up in there. If you want to count 2020.
So Seahawks had 3 Super Bowl appearances, and that was both with Russell Wilson, 2013, 2014. Should have had we all know Seattle should have had 2 rings.
Yep.
But Darrell Bevel decided he wanted to throw the ball on the 1-yard line, and Malcolm Butler picks it off when you had Beast Mode, who was beasting all game long.
2020 he had 40 touchdowns. 2020 had 40. Thank you, Willie. Tell Damien he tripping. 2020 he had 40 touchdowns. So why did you put 2020? He had 40 touchdowns. So technically, you looking at probably 2 bad seasons, really. Two bad seasons. If you're looking at it, you're looking at 2 bad seasons. 2014 and 2022, really.
Well, 14 they won a Super Bowl. So
yes. And that's not even really a bad season. 2014, he threw 20-7. And then they ran the ball with Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah, he didn't have to throw much.
He didn't have to throw much. And didn't have to throw much.
1, 2, 3, 4. 4 seasons, he's thrown over 4,000 yards.
Yeah, facts, Willie. He's been more than productive. The man been more than productive. He's been more than productive. Statistically, he only had 2 bad years. That was this year.
12 and 9 this year. And it is its first. His quarterback rating is 82.6 right now. Any other years, he's over 100 or in the high 90s.
He didn't have a great year. At that time, but it was, like I say, 20 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. It wasn't a bad year. So statistically, he has 1 bad year. He had just a 1 bad year. If you want to count the 25 touchdowns year and the 6 interceptions, he was hurt. And he was playing like an MVP before he got hurt. So that's not even a bad year that he had. He threw 25 and 6 before he got hurt.
So I really think this was only his downfall year. But we still got to take Russell Wilson still got to take some accountability as well on the season and how he played. The coach can only call him, but you got to execute him, Russ. Like, we're not putting it solely all on you. Hackett had something to deal with it. The organization had something to deal with it because they was preparing for Aaron Rodgers. So Russ, you did get some blame in this. I feel like you got to be more of a leader because you've seen that a whole team is dysfunctional, yelling at Russ, yelling at each other, taking helmets off. I just feel like Russell definitely could have played better this year. That's why I said next year he gets a whole new coaching staff. We already know he's the quarterback. Of course, he's not the top 10 quarterback like he used to be, but Russell can still get it done at a high level. I just feel like he needed a better coaching staff to do that. This coaching staff was complete butt this year. So I just don't know what's going on, Donte. I'm not ready to write. People are ready to write off Russell Wilson, talking about he shouldn't have got traded there. I understand why it's a business, why he left Seattle and Denver needed a quarterback, but also you need a coaching system and a staff in place to execute these plays, to get players motivated, to develop players. And I feel like if you get that right coach, Russell Wilson will be back to being Russell Wilson. This year was a complete abysmal year for them. So I just feel like you get the right coach, Russell Wilson will be okay next year. I don't think it was a bad move getting Russell Wilson.
This man career touchdown interception ratio. This man 304 touchdowns, 96 interceptions. He ain't even reached over 100 interceptions yet. He haven't even reached 100 interceptions yet. So, yep.
Right. So it was a dumpster fire this year in Houston, and I'm not ready to write off Russ yet. Now, if he comes back next year and stink it up, then we have an issue. Is it a Russell? Then it becomes is a Russell Wilson issue of why he's playing so bad. But I think Russ needs to readjust, take the summer off, build some chemistry with his guys because he's going to be there, and get the ball back rolling to winning football games again. Like I know Russell Wilson can be. He is a winner. He's a competitor. He's an athlete. Russell, I'm not ready to throw Russell away just because he had one bad season.
Yep. Yeah, one bad year,
Uh,
literally. Yeah, one
they
bad
got the weapons
season.
right. They got the weapons on off. Sudden, Jerry, Judy, Devontae, right. They all be back next year, and their defense is not bad. So I'm not ready to write off Russell. I'm not ready to write off Russ yet. Again, he just needs to have some more chemistry with them on the off season. Invite them over, do something. So to get this chemistry together, and they will be fine. Well, let's talk about the playoff picture. Some things has changed a little bit. Again, we had the Chargers clinching. So they are in. So of course the Bills are still the number one seed over there in the AFC. Give me a second. Pull up things here. All right. So the Bills clinched. The Chiefs has clinched. Ravens are still hanging on in there. The
Yep.
Bengals are in, and then the Chargers are in. Um, so the Bills can clinch home field with the win against Cincinnati. Um, the Bengals can clinch the AFC North with a win. Then you got Miami still fighting. They are in desperate mood right now. They are almost hanging on by a thread. But if they win, and the Jets when they are in. Um, they will have clinched the playoffs. But Pittsburgh, surprisingly, the Raiders are still in to possibly get that last and final spot. But over in the NFC side, there are still, I think, with two spots still left open. We haven't finished. So Washington and the Giants definitely can still get in. Willie's like F the Raiders. He's over it. He's over the Raiders. But coach, where's your list at? Let's get into this, man.
Handy dandy. Got the notebook for you guys. Y'all already know. So, I mean, college basketball and college women's has been kind of weak, but I still got some good ones on here. But oh Lord, my goodness, man. Okay, so we're gonna start with the college football this week. Number 5, I got Clayton Tune for the quarterback out of University of Houston who willed his team to a victory last week against the Louisiana Raging Cajuns. Played okay. He led his team down the field, scored. They got the game winning touchdown. Clayton, 19 of 28, 200 and 24 yards, 3 touchdowns, 11 carries, 55 yards for Clayton, leading his team, Houston Cougars, down to the field and scored on a game-winning touchdown to beat Louisiana. By the way, they were down 16-6 in that game, and they came back and won that game. Number 4, we got college NCAA women's basketball. We got Mackenzie Holmes, the center from Indiana, center from Indiana, Mackenzie Holmes. 21.7 rebounds for Mackenzie Holmes. Had a very good game versus the University of Butler. The number 3 spot, I got Trey Alexander, the senior out of Creighton. 32 points, had a 32-point night versus had a 32-point night his last game out. But number 2, I kind of had a mixture on there because this dude been on here twice already. He's been on here already twice. I want to put somebody else on, but I went on and put him on because this man keep having some great games. He keep having great performances, and nobody can seem to stop him. You have Justin Jefferson, 12 catches, 133 yards in the tub for Justin Jefferson. My candidates were Devontae Smith, TJ Hawkinson. Those are my candidates. But I said Justin Jefferson is balling out, man. So I got to put him on the list. He's balling. I can't ignore it. Number one spot, we go to the NBA. We go to Christmas Day, and I don't know if Jokic had some Christmas gumbo. I don't know what did he had. Christmas candy, Christmas cookies. He didn't have something before he got into a game. Y'all ready for this? Y'all ready for this? This stat line right here.
He had the grown man.
You remember the 27 rebounds? We know we did it last week with the 27 rebounds. All right, so yeah, 41 points, 15 assists, 15 rebounds, and he shot a pitcher from the field. 16 or 25 to a 4-3.
Yo, man.
He put up, you know how you put the sliders up on rookie 2K? That's Joker stats right now. The last 2 games have been his stats. These are his stats. He's number one on the list. Jokic.
Joker number one on the list again.
He's number one. Second straight week.
Second straight week, and a Joker man is putting up some.
Justin Jefferson already been on 3 times, I believe.
It was some good honorable mentions you could have put up there. Like I said, Hawkinson balled out. Devontae Smith balled out. You could have put the whole Rams team.
I could have put the whole Rams team on now. I was looking at Devontae Smith. I looked at Devontae Smith, but then I went to Hawkinson. He had a very good game. But I looked at Justin Jefferson, man. This dude dominate every week. He doing this almost every week.
Justin. Joker, man. Jokic.
He gonna be on this list a lot. Watch this year. Jokic gonna be on the list a lot.
I can't but that was your coach's list. Joker 2 weeks in a row at number one. Who's going to dethrone? I can't wait now. Who's going to dethrone Joker next week?
Oh, we gotta see. We gotta see this week, man. It's gonna be something out there. It's gonna be something.
All right, so let's get down to the nitty gritty. We didn't got over everything. He said Joker need to be tested for steroids. All right, so Tua is back in concussion protocol. Again, it's just crazy what's going on with Tua. So, do the Dolphins deserve criticism for how are they handling Tua? I feel like we answered this earlier with the whole Tua thing, but it's still finding a way. We still talking about it. So what is the Dolphins doing to handle the situation about Tua? I think they should shut him down for the season. I know he's fighting for a playoff, but nobody wants to see the backups in. But what do they do with Tua?
Yep, I think they should shut him down for the season. I know you're in the brink of a playoff spot. I know you're in the brink of a playoffs. But I really do think they should shut him down for the season. I think his health is way more important. I think his health way more important than making a playoff push. I understand he wants to be out there with the team, with you guys, but his health is way more important. So Skylar Thompson or Teddy Bridgewater, you got to go what you got. You got to go with what you got. But I think Tua should sit out the whole season. I think he should not play the last 2 games.
Even if they was to bench Tua, I still think Teddy Bridgewater is in a position to get them into the playoffs. I know they haven't won a game without him yet, without Tua, but they still got weapons. You got Mostert, you got Jeff Wilson, you got Mike Gesicki, you got 2 of the best receivers on that team, and Waddle and Tyreek Hill. I still think Teddy Bridgewater can win a game if they're in there. Bridgewater could have won that game, but he got concussed. And then they had to bring Thompson in. So I think Bridgewater is more capable to handle an offense if they was to shut him down. But do you think the Dolphins is going to sign Tua long term? Because I think this is the end of his rookie deal.
I might have to bicker on that one. Might have to plead the fifth on that one. I don't know if they should sign him long terms. These concussions keep coming, and it's all about player safety. And he was having a good year, but what I seen last week, that was going to be an indictment on him, and he stunk it up bad last week. And all of a sudden, he caught a concussion. So, other than that, I'll say I think he needs to sit out these last 2 games. I think he does need to sit out these last 2 games, and he just need to worry about his health and let Skylar Thompson or Teddy Bridgewater battle. Just let them battle it out, or whoever you decide to go with. They should have an opportunity. They should have an opportunity to until Tua decides what he wants to do.
Now, do you think this might be let's say career ending? Let's say Miami doesn't pick him up. Do you think somebody takes a chance on Tua?
I think somebody takes a chance on Tua, but I don't. It's gonna be hard, man. It's gonna be hard to see him retire, man.
I know that's tough. Uh, it's just tough, especially when it comes to the concussions, and you all know what CTE does long term to you.
Hey, Shay, hey, Willie, hit me up, man. If you want to do a baseball podcast, all you gotta do is hit me up. All you gotta do is hit me up. I'm one text away. I can do it. I'll do a baseball podcast with you. Hit me up. That's Skyboy. Yeah, that's Skyboy. To be honest, I didn't even watch too much of Skylar Thompson. I didn't even watch too much of him. I'm not gonna even lie, so I don't know about the man that much.
I'd rather have Teddy Two Gloves in there than Skylar Thompson. But hopefully Tua, if the Dolphins are all in on Tua, I don't think they'll give him a big deal. Maybe they give him a 2-year deal or something around there, just to prove if he hopefully don't be all concussed. Because if I think another brutal concussion, I sad to say, but Tua might be done early just because of concussions, and you definitely don't want to mess with the head and the brain. Long term, definitely CTE. You can't diagnose that until you're passed away, but you still can have side effects and everything after playing. Messes with the mood and everything. You just don't want to see nothing like that happen to it. Zach Wilson is benched yet again. Dante, what the hell do we do? What do the Jets do with Zach?
Move on from him. Simple as that. Throw him in the garbage. Move on from him. The simple as that. Ain't nothing need to be asked. Move on from him. The guy's not good. The guy's a bust. Of a draft pick. Think they realize they made the wrong move. He's not a good teammate. He's not a good locker room guy. You can see every time he get ready to throw the football, drop back the pass, you can see the fans are booing him. You can see the fans booing him as well. They were like, get this guy off the field. They want Flacco. And they're willing to go with Joe Flacco over Zach Wilson. And like I say again, get him out of there. Nothing more need to be said. Just move on from him. Get him out of there. He won't be with the Jets next year. He'll be gone. He'll be gone.
So, do you see the Jets staying with Mike White, or do they get somebody like Daniel Jones?
I think Mike White is the guy. He just got to stay healthy. The team plays better under Mike White. I think Mike White is the guy. I think he just needs to stay healthy. He just needs to stay on the field. Or if you're not so sure about Mike White, hey, there's quarterbacks out there that you can get. But I think Mike White is the guy. I think he is the answer. He just got to stay healthy. But other than that, they don't need to talk about Zach Wilson. Just move on from him. Throw him in the garbage. Move on from him. Somebody in the offseason is going to take him as a backup.
Is he? I was about to say, is he officially now a backup?
Yeah, he's a backup. Hell yeah, he's a backup. Yeah, nothing need to say. He ain't no damn starting quarterback.
That's a shame. He has been entered into the backup role now. Somebody who needs a backup QB will take a chance on him. Maybe he just needs to go in the right system with the quarterback coach or the coaching. But who knows? Only time will tell with Zach Wilson. He's still young, but as of right now, I don't think he's it. And the Jets, it's only 2 years. It's not even his whole rookie year. Well, you see what happened to Alex Leatherwood. The Raiders moved on from him after 2 seasons. So, I mean, it has to be done.
Yeah.
Leatherwood over there, down there with the Chicago Bears. But before we move forward, there was an interesting post on Bleacher Report. And it has something to do with the Chicago Bears. Would you or would y'all not do this, y'all? Because Damien already answered the question. He's pulling the trigger on it. So, the Chicago Bears receives T. Higgins, the 2023 first-round overall pick, which is the 28th pick, 2023 second-round pick, 2024 third-round pick, and Cincinnati gets the second-round pick overall because Chicago will be second round. So with Chicago trading back to 28 overall in 2023, they could address the offensive line with Georgia edge rusher and Nolan Smith. Would you pull that trigger? Yes or no?
So the Bears are getting T. Higgins.
Yes, the Bears get T. Higgins.
If I'm a Bears fan, I'm
in
pulling
their pick, which is 28, and then Cincinnati gets the Bengals. I mean, Cincinnati gets Chicago's first round pick, which is second overall.
Yeah, if I'm a Bears fan, I'm pulling that trigger. Yep, I'm getting a receiver. T. Higgins. That's really good. I'm getting a receiver in T. Higgins. Something that they desperately need, and you just giving up a second round pick. Now, a second round pick can be valuable, but you giving up a second round pick because you're getting a receiver. So yes, I would do it.
So yeah, so the Bengals will get the Bears first round pick.
Huh?
The Bengals will get the Bears first round pick, which is second pick over their second overall. The Bears get a second round pick in the first round, a second round pick in this year's draft. They get the Bengals first round pick, which is 28, and then they get
you said I got to trade a first round pick to get T. Higgins.
Yes.
No, I'm not doing it. No. I'm not trading the number 2 overall pick for no T. Higgins. No. I'm not doing that. No. I'm not trading the second overall pick. No, I'm not. If I got to trade the second overall pick for T. Higgins, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
Knowing that Chicago has all this money.
Yeah, and you just gave away your first round pick to the Giants. You just not recovered from giving away your first round picks to the Giants. No, I'm not giving away a second round pick. T. Higgins, worth a second overall pick. He's good, but he's not no superstar. No, I'm not doing it.
I want, like I said, I want to pull that trigger either.
I'm not pulling the trigger.
You still got the second pick overall, number 2. That means I know y'all the Bears defense still needs holes, but they're not bad. But they still need some pieces. Why not go get y'all a young stud like a Will Anderson to put on that Bears defensive line? They got money, $21 million they can spend. And I'm sure they got other picks in the draft as well in the later rounds. That's offensive line.
And the Bengals are getting better with the second overall pick. If you look at what the Bengals can do with that second no, I just had to listen to more of it. I didn't know I thought it was a second round pick. If it was a second round pick, then I'd pull the trigger. But you said second overall.
The Bears, T. Higgins,
yeah.
And their first round pick, which is 28 in the first round. And the Bengals gets the Bears overall pick, which is number 2 in the draft.
I'm not doing that deal. But Damien, you getting a first round pick in still though. You getting a 28th overall pick, which still can be valuable.
Right.
You getting a 28th overall pick. I'm not getting up the number 2 pick for T. Higgins. I'm not doing that.
Right. I'm not pulling that trigger.
And T. Higgins is not. You don't know if T. Higgins is a number 1 wide receiver. He's not a number 1. He's a number 2 right now, behind Jamar Chase. So no, I'm not giving them no number 2 overall pick. Not giving them no 2. Now T. Higgins, he's a good player, and he's helping out my fantasy because I'm in a fantasy championship with Slay. But other than that, no, he's not worth the number 2 overall pick. Where I have to give it up just to get a receiver. I know y'all need receiver help. But the number 2 overall pick, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't pull that trigger. You still can get a young stud or even a lineman, somebody at number 2 that's going to be valuable, that's going to be playing now mode. Second overall, he's in now mode. He's not going to be on no bench. And then y'all got all this money. And the free agency next year is going to be a hot list. So y'all ain't got no excuses to help Justin Fields. Get him some offensive linemen. Get him another weapon, because I don't know where Finding Nemo is going to be at. Are you going to be able to find Chase Claypool?
I'm not sure.
So, yeah. So, I wouldn't pull that trigger. I think Chicago fans would riot if they pull that trigger.
But you still getting the first round pick too, though. You got the 28th overall. It's just the second overall pick.
It just won't be number 2.
It just won't be number 2, but you'll pick late in the first round. You have a chance to get if a receiver is available right now, or you can get one in free agency.
Right.
If you could.
But I had to get that out there. I seen that earlier, and I thought it was an interesting topic to talk about. What's going on, Daniel? Is Brady the reason why the Bucks are struggling right now?
You can put him part of the reason. You can put Brady a part of the reason because he has been struggling really, really bad. You can put a part of the reason, and he looked at bad against the Cincinnati Bengals game. Oh my goodness, he looked at that bad. But he's part of the reason. Leonard Fournette not being able to run the football, the offensive line, mentioned he do got some hurt offensive linemen as well, but Tom Brady is part of the reason why they're playing bad. And when you're losing, of course, you're Tom Brady, you're going to get both of the blame for them losing. All of a sudden, their defense is still okay. I think their defense is okay. To me, they're fine. But other than that, Tom Brady, they have not been scoring points on the offensive side of the football. They've been struggling to score. Their defense has been on the field most of the time. So I would say, yes, Tom Brady is probably one of the reasons why they're losing. But it takes you back to Todd Bowles. He's not a good head coach in the league. He's a good defensive coordinator, but he's not a great head coach. So I'll put half of the blame on both of those guys as a whole together.
I don't know. Brady's just getting up there. I just wish his ass retired and go sit down some damn where. But Tom Brady in the playoffs is a different Tom Brady.
Yeah.
I still think they're gonna take that division. It hasn't been set in stone yet that they won the NFC South. But I still think the Bucks is still a dangerous team in the playoffs with Brady. Mike Evans, regardless of how many seasons he's been there, he's always put up the numbers. Mike Evans is humble. You don't see him complaining on the bench when he don't get no touches. You don't hear peep out of him, except if it's LaShawn Lattimore. Then they might. Then Marshawn Lattimore. Then it might be something different. Them two don't like each other. But Brady's a different animal in the playoffs. As far as the struggles, I know the offensive line's been hurt. Fournette hasn't been really running that great. White has been running pretty good. So I mean, if the defense is coming around, so I mean, I can't say he's all the blame.
Mm-hmm.
His offensive line is hurt. I mean, his main pieces, Jensen, Tristan Wirfs, his whole offensive line is decimated, but he still find a way to win games.
Yeah, that's why I brought up Todd Bowles. I brought up kind of Todd Bowles to coaching as well. Throughout his history, he has not been a very good head coach. He's been a bad head coach, but he's a good defensive coordinator. He's one of the most respected defensive coordinators in this league.
Yeah, so I mean, and not all the struggles go on Tom Brady, but again, they are a different team in the playoffs. If it come down to and they are playing Dallas with seeding, I still think Dallas gonna lose in the first round. Sorry. If until Dallas proves me otherwise, they're not gonna win in the first round. It's always the first round exit. And Tom Brady is a different animal in the playoffs. So I just, the Rams had his number last year, but I just think Tom Brady's different when he's in the playoffs. Justin Jefferson. We already talked about Justin Jefferson. This kid is special. Catches everything that comes his way. He needs 244 yards to break 2K.
He needs how many?
244.
Yeah, okay.
Because he had last week, he had over 100 yards last week. Right now, I can tell you exactly right now. Again, he's leading the league in yards, 1,756. How many tubs he got? 8 touchdowns off 123 receptions. Megatron. I think he was at 1965, I believe. So to get 2,000, I believe he's 209. He's 209 away from breaking Megatron's record of 1,964.
Yeah.
Can he do it?
Yep, I think he can do it. I think he definitely can do it. 2 games, he need over 100 yards. I think he can definitely do it.
That'll be crazy. He won't get the triple crown, but he'll definitely be reading receiver. I think he can do it too. Justin Jefferson's a different animal. When you need a clutch catch, he's right there. He's right
Yep.
there. Um, when he gets, of course he's going to get doubled, or he might have some games where he don't. But that last one of them games he had 227, 227. Justin Jefferson just is a special receiver. I definitely think he's going to break it. What's going on, Chad? He said Matt Canada's going to get let go. He don't like Matt. He don't like Matt Canada over there in Pittsburgh. Vic said he's not getting 2K. Do you think he'll break Megatron's record though if he's not getting 2K? Is Minnesota going to sit him down at the last game? That's another thing. Is Minnesota going to sit him? Do you think another person other than a quarterback should be in MVP talks? Because when you look at MVP, besides Adrian Peterson winning it that year as a running back, do you think it needs to be someone else besides a quarterback?
Yes, I think if it's not, I think Justin Jefferson this year should be in consideration for the MVP status. I think Justin Jefferson should be in consideration. Definitely, if it's not a quarterback. Anything outside of quarterback, I think Justin Jefferson.
Well, remember last year, Cooper Kupp was in MVP talk, and then it went to Aaron Rodgers. I think they should consider it not being a quarterback. I understand the quarterback touches the ball on every snap, but what about who you throwing it to? What if they having career numbers? Look, just like Adrian Peterson that year, he won MVP. So why not give it to a wide receiver? And definitely he's playing lights out. I think the Vikings are going to try to get him 2K so he can be thrown to all day. I don't think he gets either. Oh, Vic's just saying no in general. But no, let somebody else win it. Let somebody else definitely win it. I still think Hurts is MVP, but since he was out that game, it might hurt him, and we might see Patty Mahomes win it again this year. Lamar Jackson is still up in the air if he's going to play this week against who is Baltimore going? Is it Pittsburgh? Pittsburgh they going up against this week? How does the injuries affect Lamar Jackson's future with the Baltimore Ravens?
It's a thought process. It's a thought process that it is going to be bring up. It is going to be bring up, but I still think he gets his money. I still think Lamar Jackson find a way to get his money. I'm not going to say over 250 mil or 230 mil because of just in case Deshaun Watson, without even playing football, has gotten 230 mil without even playing football. Kyler Murray has gotten over 200 mil, but just making a playoff and playing poor football. So you already know Lamar Jackson is going to campaign for his money. You already know they set the bar to get their money. I'm not saying it's going to be 230 or 250, but it's going to be 200 mil at least. It's going to be up in that range that they're going to make it.
So you think if it's not the money that he's looking for, do you think Lamar walk or he?
I think he consider walking, or they may franchise tag him. But I think he does consider walking. How can Deshaun Watson get 230 mil? Just because Cleveland was desperate for a quarterback, but he hasn't played in 2 years, and he gets 230 mil. Kyler Murray, you mean tell me Kyler Murray worth more money than Lamar Jackson? Worth more money than Lamar Jackson? It's their organizations value him that high. So I believe he's going to get 200 mil. He's going to get at least 200 mil. And he is old agent. It's going to be tough to negotiate with him too if you don't get the right deal. He's own agent too.
Shoot, he should have took the deal the first time, but that's just my opinion. But what has to change with Baltimore?
Receiver help. You got to get some receiver help. Definitely. Running backs just have to stay healthy. J.K. Dobbins having a awesome season, having a pretty good season this year. Just got to get some receiver help. You get some receivers help. I think it can change in Baltimore. The defense has been solid. Defense has been okay. You just got to get some receiving help for Lamar Jackson.
Do you think the offensive coordinator needs to go? Is it around Greg Roman or
I mean, it could be, but like I think the offense, I think the way the offense is, you don't have the receiving core. You don't have the receiving core. He also doesn't have the weapons. Greg Roman doesn't have the weapons surrounded with Lamar Jackson. He just have the tight end, Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely in the run game. And if you can stop the run game, you got nobody to throw to. And the offense fits perfectly around what Lamar Jackson's skill set wants to be. But I mean, like I say, it could be Greg Roman. It could be Greg Roman, but we'll find out. We'll only find that out. But he does need some weapons. Lamar does need some weapons to throw to.
now? Do you think Lamar Jackson is a accurate thrower?
I don't think he's that accurate thrower, but I believe he's getting better at it. I believe he gets better at it. I don't think he's that accurate of a thrower.
All right, let's see what the Ravens do on the offseason. They are in the playoffs as of right now, but I feel like if they lose out, if they lose these last two games, um, Baltimore's in trouble. Um, so we all know the Vikings. They winning their games, and they winning these games like close. Is that a concern? How are they winning these games close or win's a win?
You want to say win is a win, but again, how they getting by these games, any team can beat them. Any team can beat them. Any team can definitely beat them. They're not dominant when they win games. They're not dominant when they win games, and that could be a concerning. That could be definitely concerning for us to be the second best team probably in football. That can definitely be a concern if you're not winning games convincingly, or like I say, if you're winning games closely. That's a problem. That's not a problem. And when, like I say, you don't want to knock from nobody from winning, but that shows that they're not unbeatable. They're definitely a beatable team. And I'll say the games that they lost have been to very good teams. They still don't know how to beat a very good team. They still don't know how to do it. So at the end of the day, it could be concerning. It could be concerning. And you can question what they're going to do. Is there a deep playoff team? I don't think they're a team that could make a deep run in the playoffs.
It's just like you said, they definitely can be beat anytime. They only won by 3 points to the Giants, couple points here. I know they had the biggest comeback against the Colts, but they still end up winning by a point. So I mean, these close games can come back and bite them at one point when they really need it. I think it's going to come back and definitely bite them. But now that there's no head coach right now, they were talking about Shane Steichen possibly being being a coach there. Sean Payton's name still out there. But is this job more or less attractive since they had Russell Wilson as quarterback?
Yep. And you can still got players. If they come back healthy, Cortland Sutton, Jared Judy, Javonte Williams, they can be good. They can be a good team. They got a good defense. But I think Denver is an attractive job. I think it really is. For Sean Payton and whoever wants to decide to take the job, even D'Amico Ryans. I think the team is really, really good. The team just got to stay healthy, and you got to get the right coaching staff in there.
Again, definitely agree. I'm not writing off Russ. Again, he has some blame in all this, why he's performing the way he has performed. Hackett had something to do with it as well. I'm putting it on the coaching staff, the organization. It goes higher up. It goes down to the coordinators, everybody, including Russ Wilson. So I'm not ready to write off Russ, and whoever gets in there is definitely going to turn things around. Like you said, D'Amico Ryans, young and up and coming coach over there in San Fran, Shane Steichen over here in Philly as OC. You saw how he turned. He was his offense was number 8 with the Chargers. So just imagine what he can do at head coaching job. And then Sean Payton as well. We all know Sean Payton's a good coach as well. Took Breeze to the Super Bowl, but he's good all around. So we'll see what the organization in Denver do. Green Bay Now, surprisingly, Green Bay has been winning games with here lately. Do they sneak in? They got division games remaining, which is the Lions and Minnesota. Do they get in?
I think it's a possibility they can split with one of them. They can lose to they can lose to they can lose to Minnesota, and they beat the Detroit Lions. I think they just fall short of the playoff picture.
All right, so Vic has a question.
I got a split.
Got us okay. So if Lamar Jackson signs with the Ravens next year and they give him a marquee receiver, is Lamar Jackson still perform the same? Is he still a top 10 QB?
You say what was the question again?
So Lamar signs with the Ravens. They give him a marquee receiver, like a big name receiver that's gonna compliment him. Is he still and he still performs the same? Is he still a top 10 QB?
If he still performs the same, I'll still keep him in my top 10. Yes. It just depends on how he performs. Now, if he performs great and the teams is losing, that's not his fault. He's performing. He's actually performing good. Now he's actually performing good. But if he performs pretty much the same way, if he performs pretty much the same way, I will still keep him in my top 10. I'll still keep him in my top 10. Honestly, I will still keep him in the top 10. Because I just think, like I said, I don't go off stats. I got a different criteria. I don't go off really stats that much like that. Sometimes I value better players. I value who's actually a better player than the player. I don't always, use the stats as the issue. I don't use the stats all the time.
Now we all know that Baltimore is a running heavy first team. Now, if they get a new offensive coordinator and change things where they want to make it passing and use the running backs balance and everything, will that still change then?
You say, huh?
So what if they get a new offensive coordinator that doesn't make the Baltimore Ravens so run happy like they are? They heavy runners. Would that change things? Like the whole different scheme of things.
If you can try that, but you need Lamar Jackson. I think he still needs a weapon. I don't think one weapon will change everything. I think you need a couple. I think you need two. You need two guys. You need two weapons. Because again, when you're playing against a very good team and they will double that main weapon that you got and make you go to somebody else. So I think you need two more weapons. Mark Andrews, yes. And you want to get Mark Andrews free as you can as well, since he's your best weapon right now. You're not going to be able to beat everybody all the time and running the football. It's just not going to happen. I think they just need a couple more weapons to help them out.
And Rashad Bateman definitely was balling until he got hurt. Most teams, dangerous team in the NFC, AFC right now.
San Francisco is a dangerous team. The dangerous team, and you talking about? I'm going outside of the Eagles. I'm going outside of the Eagles. I'm going San Francisco. AFC. I'm going to go the Bills.
49ers definitely. I think they're the second most complete team, other than the Eagles. Defense is good. Offensive, they're good. They got the weapons. Ayuk, they got Deebo Samuel. You got Christian McCaffrey. Got George Kittle. Defensive side, you got Bosa. You still got Fred Warner. Purdy, I know Brock Purdy. I know he's a rookie. But they even had Garoppolo, who's just a game manager and can still win games. So they're definitely an all around team. I'm also going to see the 49ers.
He still has good running backs, but at the same time, teams know how to stop that because you're running the ball all the time. You're just running the ball. You're not going to beat anybody just running the ball, just depending on a tight end. They're going to double the tight end and take him away. And who else you got to get open? You ain't got nobody else. That's easy. That's an easy take. That's easy. All you got to do, you stack the box. They know they're gonna run. You stack the box up, you stop J.K. Dobbins and Lamar Jackson. Now all of a sudden you tell me when I get the ball in my hands to get ready to throw, I just got Mark Andrews. What is this? Deshaun Jackson, he's not no threat like he used to be. He's not a threat like he used to be. Hey, it's easy. It's gonna be easier to stop. It's easier to stop Baltimore. That's why they've been struggling. That's why they've been struggling. That's why they struggle to score 20 points. They don't have any weapons outside of Mark Andrews. The running game, people know they're gonna run with J.K. Dobbins. They know they want to come in a game and establish the run game. They know that already. They know that already.
The Bills in the AFC. Here's my hot take. I'm going on a bold take here. And I know how Vic's going to feel about this answer because he can't stand Herbert. But if Herbert gets all his pieces back and everybody's healthy, I think Bosa comes back. They get Rashawn Slater back. I think if they go into the playoffs semi healthy, I think the Chargers might be the underdogs and surprise everybody. They got Eckler. They still got Keenan Allen. They got Mikey Williams over there. And then you got Khalil Mack. You still got Darren James, but he's not doing boneheaded hits. Um, you still got when Bosa comes back. The defense is still okay. The defense is still good. You got Asante Samuel Jr. over
Uh-huh.
there. I'm going to say the Chargers could be a dark horse and surprise some damn body if they come back healthy. If I said if Bosa comes back, I think maybe. But it's a hot bold take. I'm gonna say the Chargers right now since they're hot right now. I mean, they in the playoffs. I think things might change a little bit. So I'm gonna say the Chargers are dangerous in the AFC right now.
Yo.
Vic said, sad thing is, I don't think the Ravens will never give Jackson the receiver he deserves. The argument will always be Lamar never had a receiver, and if he does get one, be that they're a run first team.
Yeah, because you want to run the ball just to open up everything. That's what you want to do. You plan every team kind of plans. Some team, not every team, but for that team, you want to establish the run game before you can get before it can open up more play action and open up the passing game. So that if they get Lamar Jackson a couple of wide receivers and some receiving help, I think that by having that good running game like that, I think that opens up everything else and make that offense tougher to stop. But dude, that you don't have a good receiving core. Bateman is always hurt. Deshaun Jackson not the same. You just have a tight end and you just have J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards. That's not going to help. That's not going to help. It's not going to help them. And then you still will have Lamar Jackson, so they're going to know what's coming. They're going to know what's coming. Then during the passing game, they're going to take away Mark Andrews for half of the time. I'm trying to take him away.
Most definitely. One last thing here is the Eagles' defense an issue. We've seen.
I think the Eagles' defense is somewhat of an issue, but I don't think it's the whole issue in that game because Dallas scored 20 points on turnovers, and the turnovers were both short field turnovers. Well, basically short field turnovers. They had probably one drive. They had probably a couple of drives. The 3rd and 30. Darius Slay was looking in the backfield up on that one. It was a little bit of a mixture on a cover 2. It was a cover 2 zone. He was standing in his zone, but Darius Slay was caught looking in the backfield on that one. So again, the defense was kind of put in bad situations. When you look back at the game, they were put in bad situations in short fields where the turnovers were at. Boston Scott fumbled the ball. You had Miles Sanders fumbling ball right there. Miles Sanders fumbling it right there at the worst time in the game, probably right there. So that defense was put in some bad situations, that they couldn't get themselves out of. The defense did force a turnover, did score a touchdown too. Gotta give them credit for that. They did get a touchdown. They did force a couple of field goals. So again, the defense is an issue. It could be an issue, but it's not the whole deciding issue and factor. I think the defense is okay. They're not great.
Like I said, our defense is number 1 and number 2. I think it's number 1. Number 1 in the pass rush. But it didn't look like it on Saturday. But I still think is Jonathan Gannon calling the scheming in the plays. I think it's just his style or whatever he calls, he don't make adjustments for me. I just feel like in that game he was playing zone all game, and CD Lamb was cooking us from the slot. You would think he would have made an adjustment. He did not. He did not address anything with CD Lamb cooking us. He could have, he could have said, "Hey, Slay or Bradbury, do you think you can move over something in the cut and something?" He didn't do nothing. We all know the next man up, but we know Asante Maddox is out again. But he was playing lights out when he was in there. And then you got to go to Josiah Scott, who absolutely stunk it up. So I understand, it's the next man up mentality, but at the same time, Gannon didn't do anything to adjust anything in that game. CD Lamb lit us up. And I think
that's I understand that. I kind of understand that, but it's nothing you can do when your offense have 4 turnovers in the short field. Right. You can't expect your defense to come out there. All of a sudden, defense do something good to get off the field, but your offense turn the ball over and giving the defense all of a sudden have to start it in the short field, and that puts a bad bind on the defense. You really think you're gonna? It's the same way how the first game went. Dallas threw the ball away 3 times, and the Eagles had to start on the short field every single time, and that resulted in the points. The same game went on this game. You got 4 turnovers. The interception was right there. Was a short field situation. Both interceptions were basically the short field situation. 2 of the fumbles were in short field situation. But the 3rd and 30, that's on Jonathan Gannon. The 3rd and 30 and the one drive that was probably the one drive that was down the field was probably on Jonathan Gannon. The defense forced the field goals, but like I say, if your offense turning the ball over in short fields, I don't know what anybody expect the defense to kind of do if the ball is turned over right there by the end zone, but at the 30. I don't know how the defense supposed to kept stopping it the way Dallas was doing that day.
All right, so here are your offensive leaders. So in passing, of course, it's Patrick Mahomes, 4,720 yards. Your top 5 is Mahomes, Burrow, Herbert, Brady, and Kirk Cousins is top 5 in your passing. Rushing top 5 is Josh Jacobs, Derrick Henry, Nick Chubb, Saquon Barkley, Miles Sanders. Of course, you're receiving Justin Jefferson, Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, AJ Brown, and Devontae Adams. On the defensive side, for tackles, it's how do you say his name? Olokun from Jacksonville. He's leading the league in tackles, 162. And then you got hold on.
Who he play for?
The Jaguars. For your side. I'm butchering his name.
Is what's his number? Number 23. Oh, damn. I
the linebacker.
I know he's number 23. I keep forgetting his name. I get it.
So he's leading the league with sacks. With tackles right now. Mm-hmm. Then you got Jordan Brooks from the Seahawks. You got Nick Bolton from Kansas City. You got Zaire Franklin from the Colts, and rounding up at number 5 is Rashaan Evans in tackles. Nick Bosa's leading in sacks. Matthew Judon is 2nd. You got Hassan Reddick 3rd, Myles Garrett in 4th, and Michael Parsons is 5th with 13 sacks. Nick Bosa 17.5 sacks, and Judon's right underneath him, 15.5 sacks. Interceptions, CJ Gardner-Johnson still leading the league with sacks. Interceptions, and he's been out for games. Tyreek Woolen is right there tied with him. Harrison Smith, Justin Simmons, and then Zaire Alexander, all with 5. So anybody can take the lead there in interceptions. But
I know my. Oh, that's cornerbacks, right?
Yeah. They just leading the league in interceptions right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know my safety, Jalen Petrie has 4 picks. He has 4 interceptions right now.
So CJ and Tyreek Woolen are leading are tied for first with 6 interceptions each. And somebody can take the lead. CJ may be back this game or next game, but he is eligible to come off of IR for this Eagles team. God knows we need him in that spot because, again, Josiah Scott stinks. Let's get into Week 17's picks and prediction, the last and final Thursday night game of the season, we got the Cowboys up against the Tennessee Titans. Who are you taking?
I'm taking the Cowboys.
It'll
Tennessee
be
just
funny though
fell
if the
apart.
Tennessee win, but they're not. We're gonna go Dallas here. We got the Saints and the Eagles on New Year's Eve on New Year's Day. Who you got?
Saints and the Eagles. I'm going for the Eagles to straighten up. But the Saints, it's gonna be at Lincoln Financial. Yeah, I gotta take the Eagles. I'll take the Eagles.
All right, so we got the Cardinals and the Falcons. And both these teams is out to play it. So it
I'm gonna take the Falcons. I got the Falcons. I'll take
yeah, no, I'm taking the Falcons as well. We got the Bears and the Lions.
the Lions.
Taking the Lions as well.
Where is it? It's in Chicago.
Detroit.
I'll take the Lions.
Damian said tie. We got the Chiefs and the Broncos.
Pass.
We all know the Chiefs is beating the Broncos. We got the Patriots and Miami. Now Miami needs
I'm going
this
for the
game.
Patriots. I'm going for the Patriots.
So am I. Colts and Giants.
Giants.
I'm picking the Colts too. Well, no, I'll pick the Giants, not the Colts.
Go ahead and pick the coach.
That'll be funny though. That would be funny. We got the Bucks and the Panthers.
Give me the Bucks. The second
That'll be
time I think they split.
Commanders, Browns.
Where's played at?
Commanders and Browns. They're in Washington. Ford Field. Give
me the Commanders.
Jags and Texans.
You know what? Give me my Texans at home. Until the Jags find a way, give me my Texans at home. Until the Jags find a way, give me my Texans at home. That's the upset for me. That's my upset pick.
We got the Raiders and the 49ers.
Oh, we already know they getting spanked. We already know the Raiders gonna get spanked. We already know that's gonna happen. Where it's played in San Francisco? Do they go to
No,
San
they in
Francisco?
Vegas.
Oh, it don't matter. It don't matter. Yeah.
You know how many Raiders fans is gonna be in Vegas?
Mm-hmm.
We got the Jets and Seahawks game.
Jets and Seahawks. Give me the Seahawks.
I took the Jets because Mike White's back.
Oh, Mike White back?
Yeah, remember was that
He playing with
got
messed up
big?
ribs. I keep my pick. He playing with messed up ribs. I don't know how the ribs gonna turn out. So I keep the Seattle Seahawks.
Vikings and the Green Bay.
I'm gonna go with. You know what? I'm gonna go Green Bay.
See how Zaire and handles.
I'll take Green Bay. And I'll take Green Bay this game, and I think Detroit will find a way to get them. I'll say they will split.
You got the Rams and the Chargers.
Rams and the Chargers. Pass.
And you know what's funny? They both playing at SoFi Field.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know who the home team is. I think the Chargers are the home team.
Yeah, pass.
That's funny. They both playing SoFi. It's gonna be so many. That's gonna be a conflict of interest in that. Steelers and the Ravens. I'm picking an upset here, and I'm going to say the Steelers are riding off that momentum of Franco Harris on Saturday. So, and it's in Baltimore. I'm going to go Pittsburgh to beat Baltimore.
I'm gonna go Ravens. I'm gonna take the Ravens at home.
And we got the Bengals and the Bills.
This game's so tough. Give me the Bills.
I think I picked the Buffalo. That should be a good game.
Yeah.
That's the Monday night game. So that's going to be good. And that is your NFL portion. We're going to move on to some NBA. But I do have some news coming out of, where is it? Coming out of Bethune-Cookman University. Ed Reed will be the next head coach.
Okay. Eri will be the next head coach for Bethune Cookman. Okay.
Yep. So that's cool there. Shout out to Ed Reed. Congratulations on that job. See what we doing. We got following at the Dion's footsteps. You know, we got NFL retirees and Hall of Famers coaching in college now. So see what they can do. Let's switch around to the basketball, some NBA right now. Um, I know we got some games going on right now. Sixers going up against the Wizards. Um, they're on an 8-game winning streak. The Lakers against the Magic. The Rockets against the Celtics. Hawks and Pacers. Clippers, Raptors, Suns, Grizzly. We got Spurs and Thunder. Knicks and Mavericks. Hornets, Warriors, and then the Kings and the Nuggets rounding off at the 10 o'clock game. But the Nets are on a 9-game winning streak. Are they getting overlooked in the NBA right now?
Yeah, man. I feel like people are overlooking the Brooklyn Nets, man. I think the Brooklyn Nets are doing a very good job, man. I think they're doing their thing out there. Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, they look pretty happy out there right now. So hey man, got to give credit to the New York Knicks, man. They're doing a good job. I mean,
You
the
mean the Nets?
Brooklyn Nets, they doing a great job, man. And Jock Vaughn got that team playing really, really well. Um, Joe Harris chipping in. You got Patty Mills coming off the bench. Claxton is a really good energy player. Hey, I'm telling you, if Kyrie, the key for the Brooklyn Nets, if Kyrie stay committed to basketball, Kyrie Irving, them can make something happen. They can make some things happen. Not say they're going to go to the finals or, they can make a series tough for you.
I definitely agree there. Um, KD went to trade me to now possibly being in MVP talks. He's been playing lights out. But it's up for them to stay completely hot and still win these games. Again, they're in a 9-game winning streak and they're off right. They're off today, so tomorrow they'll be back in action tomorrow. Who they go up against tomorrow? They got the Hawks tomorrow. All right, so Harden. Sixers are on a 8-game winning streak. But as reports come out, Harden said he would not mind going back to Houston if things don't work out in Philly. Dante, express your feelings on how you do not want James Harden back.
You can keep him. You can keep him. You can keep him because, like I said, at this point in time, if it's good, like, I wouldn't mind him come back. I wouldn't mind him coming back. I wouldn't mind him coming back in Houston because I believe he didn't want to leave in Houston. He wanted to win a championship in Houston, and if he had done that, he would still be a Houston Rocket and probably into this day. But it's come to a point if it doesn't work out and if he doesn't win a championship, he was like he thinking in his mind, I might well just go back to Houston, where I pretty much started being that superstar at, and not caring about a championship and just going back and helping the young guys out, being a mentor to the young guys, and also just going back where I first his first not his first home, but where he first flourished at. So he kind of missed Houston. That tells you he kind of missed the city of Houston, and he still got a restaurant out here in Houston. So it kind of tells you he kind of missed being down here, and he kind of missed playing. It just he wanted to win a championship. He just wanted to try to find a way to win a championship. And like I say, if it doesn't work out, his time is really winding down to trying to win a championship. And he just wanted to he wanted to win. He wanted to win. So other than that, it just depends on what we do in the draft, and how we go by it. It just depends on if we bring him back or not. But hey, for the time being, you stay your behind down there in Philadelphia.
The Nuggets. We all know how the Nuggets are playing right now, especially with Jokic going crazy. Like he ain't got no sense. He just going off. But what is missing for the Denver Nuggets to get over that hump?
Your players got to stay healthy. Jamal Murray and Michael Porter just came back on Christmas. Got to stay healthy. I think that's the missing product. And Aaron Gordon got to keep playing the way he's playing. I think that's the missing product. They got to stay healthy. They got to stay on the court. I think they got all the tools, but I think their team needs to be healthy. And it starts with Michael Porter and Jamal Murray. They need to be healthy.
we gotta check on Landry Shamet. Is he okay?
uh,
Is Landry Shamet okay? I don't know if he's okay because the way Aaron Gordon took his soul, yeah, we need to go check on that man because he just committed Aaron Gordon committed murder and he got a warrant out for his arrest. That dunk was ridiculous.
hey, Key, that's almost like seeing Brahma Valdez again, huh?
My God, yeah, I don't want to see him no more. But yeah, that if y'all haven't seen that dunk, that was Mortal Kombat's fatality. That dunk was ridiculous, y'all.
That was crazy. That was oh yeah. And then it wasn't an offensive foul. They changed the call. I said that. I said what I was doing the game. That's gonna be a poster. That's gonna be a poster. Now that they changed it from an offensive foul, that's gonna be a poster.
What does Landry Shaman tell his kids? Like when they like what do you what what does he say? What do you tell them? Like I,
Man, I was like, damn, that's gonna be a flat out poster. Now that that's not an offensive foul, that's gonna be a flat out poster.
so if y'all hold on, if y'all have not seen it, if y'all was underneath a rock and haven't seen this dunk, come on, phone. That I gotta play it again for y'all, for the people in the back. And then what made it so bad, he fell on him at the end. he fell on him at the end. Landry Shamet for the Hornets. Are you okay, sir? Is your I wouldn't know what to do. Wouldn't know what to do in that situation. Um, what do the Kings got to do without Sabonis? Sabonis is playing hot, and it's another injury that's gonna kill him. Uh, are they going to still be able to win games without Sabonis?
They could, but I don't think they will make it anywhere without Sabonis. I think they need Sabonis to make a play-in tournament or make the playoffs. I think they would need him. They can still win. They can still survive. I believe they still can compete for a play-in tournament, but I believe they gotta have Sabonis.
All right, yeah, definitely Sabonis is balling. De'Aaron Fox is back to trying to do it all himself. I know he still had Harrison Barnes down there and Sharp, but
Mm-hmm.
Sabonis was that glue down there for this team. How far can Boston go? Boston's playing lights out. They're one, and then Milwaukee's two. But how far can they go?
Finals. Finals. I think they're the best team in the Eastern Conference. They may be the best team in basketball. I think they make it to the finals.
They definitely got the front court. You got Jalen Brown. You got Tatum. Even Brogdon comes off the bench. Still got a player in Marcus Smart. Grant Williams is playing good. When Robert Williams is in there, he's lights out as well. Still got Horford. That team's just it's Boston, man. And how can the Warriors rebound after this poor start?
Oh, they gotta get Stephen Curry back, but like I say, they got a huge win on Christmas Day against. They got a huge win. They got a huge win against Memphis. That was a big win. They got other guys that's stepping up. Ty Jerome is playing some pretty good basketball over there as the backup point guard, and they have they got to get Andrew Wiggins back. Moses Moody is playing very very good as well. Dante DiVincenzo has been a huge asset to the squad. So yeah, I believe those other guys got to continue to step up, and Klay Thompson got to shoot well. He got to continue to shoot the basketball well. If he can step up, I think they can hold it down long enough until Stephen Curry comes back. But once they get into the playoffs, they can be a tough matchup for anybody in the Western Conference.
Definitely. Once Steph comes back, things will get going again. But as of right now, in the Eastern Conference, again, you got Boston number one. They're 24-10. You got Milwaukee. Brooklyn is third. Brooklyn moved third. Cleveland moved to fourth. Philly still fifth. New York Knicks is still sixth. Now your playing tournament would be Atlanta, Indianapolis, Miami, and Toronto. And then you got Chicago, um, Orlando. Speaking of Chicago, I missed the question. What's going on with the Bulls?
You said what's going on with the Bulls? Oh, well, ain't no better person than Martin can tell you what's going on with the Bulls. Really, the Bulls got too many guys that want to kind of score on the team. They got too many guys that want to score. They don't have a traditional point guard that can slow everything down. They don't have a bench. Another thing, they don't have a bench outside of Andre Drummond. The defense is not the good, and Billy Donovan is just not a very good head coach. He's just not a very good head coach. Doesn't know how to make the proper adjustments. But other than that, you got Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan and everybody else just standing around. No ball movement at all. Everybody else just standing around. And Zach LaVine, for him to be that good and that athletic, shoot too many damn jump shots. He just shoot too many jump shots. So other than that, that's a lot of things going around with the Bulls, going around with the Bulls. And I think it just needs to be a change. I just think it needs to be a change.
Most definitely. It was rumored that LaVine might want to go to the Lakers. I don't know how they would pull that off, but that could Jeannie Buss pull that trigger? Who knows? We don't know. Would you send Westbrook to the Chicago if that's the case? Ooh, Damian would have a heart attack.
Damian will go crazy. Damian will lose that hair.
Martin, Gooley, they'll probably have a damn cow if Russell Westbrook goes to the Bulls for a LaVine. Over there in the West, Denver is now your number one team. So you got Denver, you got New Orleans, you got Memphis at number 3, you got the Clippers at 4, Phoenix is at 5, the Kings are the 6th seed, and then in the play-in tournament is Dallas, Portland, Utah, and Golden State has slipped back into the play-in tournament. Again, of course, you got Minnesota, OKC, the Lakers at 13-20. And then you got Houston and the Spurs.
Damn, the Lakers ain't even in the play-in tournament? Damn.
They are the number 13th. They are 13. 13. Minnesota. Is this a failed experiment so far, you think, with Rudy Gobert?
Hell yeah. I think it is so far. So right now, it's a failed experiment, which is I said it will be, which is I said it would not. Rudy Gobert will not make the team even better. This is a failed experiment. D'Angelo Russell has been mentioned in the trade talk so many times over there. Anthony Edwards is good. Karl Anthony Towns, it doesn't help with Karl Anthony Towns not even in the lineup, but when he was in the lineup, they were still the same team. They weren't a very good team at all. Other than that, this is a very failed experiment about them getting Rudy Gobert.
You already know how I feel about Gobert. Can't stand him. Can't stand him. It's Ben Simmons, then it's Rudy Gobert. Damn French fry. That's shit NBA seedings and everything right now. But again, the Nets is playing very good ball, 9-game winning streak, and the Sixers also on an 8-game winning streak. And they're currently going up against the
Hey Key, what you call him? What you call
okay. You know how you go to McDonald's, right?
Yeah.
And you got your fries that fall in the bag.
Yeah.
Rudy Gobert is the soggy French fry that's at the bottom of the bag.
Yeah, I like you say you down French fry.
Rudy Gobert is the soggy French fry that's at the bottom of your bag. He's part of the bag fries that don't make the box, but they fall in the bag. He is the soggy bag fries that's in your bag. That's Gobert. What the hell? The Wizards is winning 28-23. All right, so we're gonna break it down, and this is our breakdown of the MLB. We're still in the National League. We're on the Central, but before that, this Carlos Correa drama is going crazy right now. So the Giants had signed Carlos Correa. They was about to introduce him as the San Diego Padres, and they said, "Hold on, not so fast. Don't do it just yet." So apparently, it was something in his medical that raised a red flag. We all know he's been in the league for 8 years, and out of the 8 years that he's been in this league, seven of those years, he's been on the injured list. Apparently, it was an ankle injury that he had back in 2014. Mind you, he was in the Houston's farm system then. He wasn't even called up in the major league. That just giving them a concern. And now the Mets are raising a red flag about that same injury. But I think the Mets are still going to go forth with it. But Dante, what is going on in New York?
I don't know what's going on with New York, but hey, he can go on over. He can go on over there to the NL, and we may have potentially see him in the World Series. We may have to potentially see him there, but I don't know what's going on with New York. He's always had a kind of like an injury history as well, but with the Astros, he has really been more healthier with the Astros. But he does have some concerning injuries, though he does.
It's just crazy, but I think the Mets still get it done. They're still gonna go on through with it. It's just crazy how one little injury and it's a red flag. But Steve Cohen is spending some crazy money. He's way over the luxury tax. Now, what if he spends all this money and the Mets don't go nowhere? What happens then?
It's a down failure. It's a down failure. It's a down failure because you spent all this big money. You got to keep all these guys. You can't trade them away. That a lot of teams are not going to want to take the contracts or anything. But it's a down failure. Simple as that. Simple as that. You got Justin Verlander. You pretty much got Carlos Correa and all that. Yeah, it's going to be a failure if you don't make it past the World Series or to the World Series, or if you don't even make it to the playoffs, or you lose the first round again. It's a failure. Failed season.
I know the lineup's going to be crazy. I know they lost Michael Conforto. They signed Nemo back.
And even if you don't win the down division, that could be a failure. If you don't win the down division.
Man, oh man. All right, so let's break down this National League Central. We're in the Central. We did the East last week. We got the St. Louis Cardinals. They did get to the postseason last year. They got to the wild card round. They lost in the first round to the Phillies. You had the Milwaukee Brewers, who didn't make it at all. I thought that the way the Phillies was losing, it was going to creep and catch them. But the way the Phillies was losing, Milwaukee was losing as well. So Milwaukee didn't make it into the playoffs at all. They got kicked out. The Cubs, we all know the Cubs got booted. But Milwaukee did make a move. They got first baseman Miller. The Cubs have been making some off-season moves. The Cubs got Simley, starting pitcher. They end up getting Tucker Barnhart. They got Talon from the Yankees, Cody Bellinger, and Dansby Swanson. Cubs making some moves. We got the Pittsburgh Pirates. I know they just signed the 42-year-old with a Hill, I think it is. And the Reds signed Will Myers, and they got Kurt Caselli. What do you think about the NL Central right now? Who's going to be the front runner to take over that division right now?
The St. Louis Cardinals, still with Paul Goldschmidt, who's the National League MVP. Nolan Arenado, who's probably the best third baseman in baseball. And you added Wilson Contreras over there, a top catcher over there. So I think they're the front runners. I think they still have Daniel Carson as well over there. He's still pretty good. So I still think the Cardinals are winning that division. I think the Cubs are coming in second place, adding with Cody Bellinger, Dansby Swanson. They did get Jameson Taillon a little bit, and it's a toss up between the Reds and Pirates.
And Pittsburgh really didn't do much. Pittsburgh gonna be in the basement. Only thing about Pittsburgh is they got O'Neill Cruz, which is a stud at shortstop. Young kid, got an arm, can hit. You say they're trying to get Reynolds out of Pittsburgh too?
Yep, I think Brian Reynolds did ask for a trade out of Pittsburgh. He did kind of ask for a trade out of Pittsburgh. So yes, they're trying to get him out of Pittsburgh. They're trying to get him out of Pittsburgh, but they're not in the rush of trading Brian Reynolds. They're not in the rush of trading him. So yeah, I think they're trying to get him. They're trying to get him. He wants out of Pittsburgh. He wants to win. He wants to go into a winning organization. But the Pittsburgh Pirates I think they're gonna somehow get him out of there somehow. But I think it's gonna be the amount of prospects teams that they want teams to probably give up. So yeah, I think unfortunately he's gonna get his chance to get up out of there. Just not anytime soon. I don't believe.
So out of the Central, you said the Cardinals are still win the Central, but
Yeah.
out of the moves on the off season in the Central Division, who wins the off season?
The Cubs. If you want to say, I think the Cubs win the off season. I think they still win the off season. Getting Wilson Contreras, a bat that can that replaces Yadier Molina, who retired as a catcher. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. Yadier Molina, to me, is going to be a Hall of Famer for the St. Louis Cardinals. And
That's valid for me.
Yep. And you revert and you get a catcher. You get a catcher from the Chicago Cubs within the division. Actually, within the division. So I know the Cubs. They got Dansby Swanson. I understand that. I know they do. I know they got
Bellinger too.
They got Cody Bellinger. I know they got Tyone. Just because you got a lot of players, or 3 or 4, don't mean I know you're stronger a little bit, but I think the Cardinals got better with the catcher position. I think they got even better getting another good bat in that lineup on Wilson Contreras. So I would say the Cardinals. But the Cubs did have a great offseason too. The Cubs did have a great offseason. Not going to disregard that. I think the Cardinals with that move by Wilson Contreras, I believe, hey, they kind of stood out to me in the NL Central.
And of course, the Reds and Pittsburgh will be at the bottom of the division.
It's a toss up between them two at the bottom. Yep. Yep.
So you never know, Mike. Depending on how the Cubs do, we'll see them pretty soon because football is wrapping up February. Super Bowl, and that's about the time you got catchers and pitchers. So baseball will be coming up shortly. We'll get some Clearwater spring training action in. But yeah, it's going to be a toss up between the Brewers and the Cardinals.
Oh, I forgot about the Brewers. You know what I did? They're going to be in third place. I think the Brewers going to be in second place. I got the Brewers in second place, and I got the Cubs. If Christian Yelich can get back to that MVP form, I got the Brewers in second place.
I mean, they still got Burns over there, pitching staff.
Yeah.
Milwaukee's tough. Like I said, Milwaukee, I thought they was going to sneak into the wild card.
Yep.
The way the Phillies was losing.
But they were losing to the Cubs. They were losing to the Marlins. They were losing to all them bad teams. The same time y'all was actually losing.
Right. So it was just like Milwaukee couldn't catch us. And I'm just like, oh my God, we don't deserve to win. And we went all the way to the World Series. Like I'm still in shock over that. Might as well. I haven't got over that, like how we got there. It's been crazy. It really has been. But Donte, we are on episode 40.
Episode 40. Let's go. We made it to 40 episodes.
So we are on 40 episodes. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for us for today. Again, we are episode 40. We almost at 50. We're just 10 more away from 50. Half from the 100 mark goal. Definitely going to do something big. We might have to do, when we get 100, we might have to give out some merch or something.
Okay.
When it comes to that, but we'll figure it out. But yeah, definitely, guys. Appreciate y'all that was in the chat and everything. As always, y'all know y'all come in and support us each and every Tuesday. Again, we got the hottest topics in 7,200 seconds. Any last words, honorable mentions? Anybody you gotta put out on blast?
No, all I gotta say, did you have a nightmare about Rama Valdez?
No, that was he's over with until I see him again.
I'm just joking. I just want to say shout out to everybody for being here, and let's hope the Flyers can finally get another win.
I don't even know if they look. I haven't been keeping up with the Flyers. They stink.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let's see, what we doing? Saturday, the community has spoken, and I asked, what game should we do college wise? Should we do TCU in Michigan, or should we do Bama and Kansas State?
Mm-hmm.
And the community has spoken, and they voted for TCU in Michigan. So we'll be calling that game on Saturday. And that's at 4:00, and that is part of the college football playoff. So yeah, Saturday is going to be lit when it comes to college football.
Oh yeah.
So make sure you tune on in for the Michigan TCU game. Me and Coach will be calling that game as well. Again, make sure y'all just follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts to listen to the audio version, which will be uploaded tomorrow. So leave us a review. Let us know what we're doing. Let us know what you want to see. Ask us questions. Definitely, we will answer them live on the air. You definitely hit us up. Our Twitter pages, YouTube. Again, the links are in the description. We're going to get on out of here. And again, if we don't see y'all, have a very happy new year. Because 2023 is almost here.
Yep.
Say goodbye to 2022. Definitely going to push forward, and the new beginnings will start coming. So we're gonna get on out of here. And again, thank y'all for tuning in and watching. Again, this is Key. That's Coach Donte. We're always here in the building.
Yep.
Definitely see y'all in another live stream. Peace.
Never stop, I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was